Don't Worry, Darling is the brand new movie that hit theaters this past Friday. The film is directed in her second movie, directed by Olivia Wilde. The film stars Florence Pugh, Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde herself, Kiki Lane, Gemma Chan, Nick Kroll, and Chris Pine. Tell us a story about this couple. Alice, played by Florence Pugh, and Jack, played by Harry Styles, are living this life, this normal life run called the Victory Area, ran by Frank, played by Chris Pine. And when Margaret, played by Kiki Lane, starts asking questions and possibly dies, Alice starts asking the questions, is this actually as safe as everyone is saying it is? This film's 2 hours and 3 minutes long and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here on Max Talks. We'll be talking Don't Worry, Darling. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. Also, please comment down below. What are your thoughts on this film? First of all, let's forget about the drama for this comment section. Let's just focus on the movie itself. What are your thoughts on the movie? Did you like it, not like it? And like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. So I was very excited for this movie. Olivia Wilde's directorial debut was Booksmart, which came out in 2019 and is what was one of my favorite movies of that year. I've seen it 3 or 4 times now. I love Booksmart. I thought it was a perfect directorial debut for someone coming like this. And this movie kind of screamed Oscar stuff to me because the trailer is really good. The cast is really good. Clearly, she got a massive budget coming off of an indie film. So stacked cast. I was really excited. Florence Pugh for me is just must watch. Whenever she's in something, you definitely should be watching it. Talk about her in a sec. So I was very excited. Then, of course, we'll talk about this for very briefly. All of the outside drama, obviously Florence Pugh declining to promote the movie due to her not being comfortable with a, at the time, married Olivia Wilde, beginning that relationship with Harry Styles, the botched promotion from Harry Styles at a film festival, then Olivia Wilde be the only person promoting the movie outside of the festival. There was just so much drama, personal lives, that obviously Warner Brothers thought would be helping the box office, did not. But I'm not here to talk about whose side I'm on. I'm here to talk about the movie itself. I'm here for a movie review. So if you hear me talk about the Don't Worry, Darling drama, go to another video. I'm here talking movie review. So let's get my positives and my negatives and then my score. So the best part of the entire movie, not even close, is Florence Pugh. She is once again magnetic in another really great leading role for her. She's really excellent in this movie. This is her first lead role since Midsommar in 2019. And she is continuing to prove that she is one of the best actors working today. She is must-watch TV, and she really is this movie. There's, as I said, it's a very stacked cast, but no one comes near the amount of screen time. She is in basically every single scene of the movie. And it makes the movie, when it's not watchable, because she is really fantastic in this movie. And the reason why is that she plays Alice very authentically. She feels like a real person in this situation. I don't want to get into spoilers. Don't worry, there's nothing spoilery will happen in this video. But she plays it like a very authentic, real person. And if she wasn't, this movie really wouldn't work. And Florence Pugh does a really good job. As well, keeping with the acting, the other just standout performance was Chris Pine, who plays Frank. This is perfect casting. He plays the person who kind of created this, this town, and he kind of controls everything. He's really good. It's kind of rare to see Pine playing a villain type role, or just a bad guy, and he plays it really excellent. He, for me, is, I'm just always shocked that he has not become this A-list leading actor in Hollywood. He's so good on screen. And when him and Florence Pugh have scenes, it is fantastic. There's a dinner scene that is they show bits of it in the trailer. It's the best scene in the whole movie, and it's because it's just a world class of acting between Pine and Pugh in that whole sequence. So Pine was also really good. I also thought Olivia Wilde, in her very minor role, also was actually kind of good. She was actually one of the most fascinating characters by the end of the movie. And it was weird because I felt like at the end of the movie, her character could have been the main character, not Florence Pugh. But again, that's for spoiler talk. I'm not getting into that. So it really was the Florence Pugh for me and Chris Pine show in this. Another huge positive is that the production design, this movie is gorgeous, really from start to finish. This is a very well-made movie. And normally directors who go from an indie film to this juggernaut sometimes struggle with the magnitude of the budget and the sets and the looks. But Olivia Wilde handles herself really good as a director. As I said, you can think about her whatever you want, but I believe that she has a role in Hollywood. The question is, will other people join her in movies moving forward after this controversy with this film? But I find her to be a very intriguing director. She does a great job with the cameras. The production design is gorgeous. One of the best production designs you'll see all year. I thought the score was really good, actually. It's from John Powell, who's done How to Train Your Dragon score, Kung Fu Panda score, Solo, a Star Wars story. The score actually added a lot to it. And a lot of the different shots are also really, really unique. And I'll say this, the first half of the movie is, no, I'll say really the first two acts of this movie for me, I was really on board. But this movie is very much set up, and then a reveal. And either you're on board with that reveal or you're not. For me, the setup was actually really solid. It wasn't like anything spectacular, but I was on board for this movie, just trying to understand what the hell is going on, just like Florence Pugh is. And let's get into my negatives. That's where I kind of wrap up my negatives. And that for me is that the twist just is not very good. And when the movie is just set up, hoping to get answers, and when you get those answers, you're not satisfied, that means the whole movie really suffers, because it felt like there was a lot more to the movie, and then it ends and you're like, there's so many more questions that I had, and that's a big problem, because 75% of this movie is set up. We're not getting any answers for the first really 80% of the movie. And then you get some answers for the last 20% of the movie. And when I'm still asking questions afterwards, that's a bad sign. And I feel the biggest problem with this movie is the screenplay. It's from original story from the Van Dyke brothers, Cary Van Dyke and Shane Van Dyke. Their only writing credit that I've seen is The Silence, which is one of the worst Netflix movies of 2019. So that's not really great. And then Katie Silverman did the screenplay, and she comes back after writing Booksmart with Olivia Wilde as well. So the script for me is just not very good, because the actual ending of this movie just is not satisfying. Sometimes there's a logic leap, sometimes not understanding character decisions, and just logic, like why, how, I'm not gonna get into it, but how could this happen? For me, I'm not about the reveal. And this movie is banking on you thinking that this is a mind-blowing twist. And it thinks it's the most clever plot twist of all time. When you're in a movie and the screenwriters really want you to believe that this is an amazing twist, and you're saying they're not liking the twist, kind of puts a distasteful thing in your mouth. And for me, I just did not like the ending of this movie. Things got a bit too silly. I watched it with my friend in theaters, and we were both kind of chuckling at some of the stuff in the last 10 minutes of the movie. Also, I feel bad to say, but Harry Styles was just not very good in this movie. And I think it's half that he isn't this all-around great actor. Again, he has time to grow as an actor, but he didn't really have enough help. And while clearly actually Styles and Pugh have a lot of chemistry, you just don't know any really good background on their relationship for you to get any emotional connection between Jack and Alice. You care about Alice the whole movie, but you just never understand why Alice is so in love with Jack the whole movie. You just don't understand it. And Harry Styles has a monologue, and I'm just gonna say it was not very good and kind of laughable. Nick Kroll, who I usually really like, I don't know what he was doing in this movie, not his fault, just a really weird character that I wasn't really interested in. It really does come down to the ending. The setup was actually quite good, and then when the ending's not very good, I kind of compare it not as much, but really to an M. Night film, where when you're in M. Night films, you know a twist is coming. If you like the twist, you probably like the movie. If not, you're not gonna like the movie. That's what this movie is. If you like the third act and the ending of this movie, you're gonna really like this movie. And if you do not, like me, you're not gonna like the movie. This is far from being one of the worst movies of the year. It's extremely well made, and Florence Pugh gives one of the best lead actress performances of the entire year. But while that's happening for me, the undercurrent of the twist and the reveals and the answers I got were just not satisfying enough for me. So I'm going to give Don't Worry, Darling a 2 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 45% for Don't Worry, Darling. As I said, it's close to average. But for me, when your whole movie's set up and twist doesn't work, I'm not going to give it a fresh review. So that's my thoughts on Don't Worry Darling, which is for me one of the most disappointing movies for me of the entire year. Might be the most disappointing movie for me of the entire year. I was expecting such high marks for this film, but it did not hit there. So that's my thoughts on this film. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell. More videos coming, including Andor review, She-Hulk reviews, as well as Smile review. Box office breakdown show on Monday. I'll see you guys then.